Good day everyone, I'm Jonna P. Monterdi, and for today's video, we're going to answer 5-word problems involving probability, counting principle, permutation, and combination. Before we're going to answer the given problems, let's recall first what is a probability, permutation, combination, and counting principle. First, we have the probability. Probability, it means possibility. It is a branch of mathematics that deals with the occurrence of a random event. The value is expressed from 0 to 1, and the probability formula is probability is equal to the number outcomes in A divided by the number outcomes in sample space. Next, permutation. Permutation is a word that describes the number of ways things can be ordered or arranged. With permutations, the order of the arrangement matters. The formula is n permutation of r is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Next is combination. A combination is a mathematical technique that determines the number of possible arrangements in a collection of items where the order of the selection does not matter. The formula is n combination of r is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial times r factorial. Next, we have the counting principle. Counting principle is a way to figure out the number of outcomes in a probability problem. Basically, you multiply the events together to get the total number of outcomes. The formula is if you have an event A and another event B, then all the different outcomes from the events is A raised to the power of B, where A is equal the number of options to choose from in each event and B is equals the number of events. So now, let's start to answer the 5 given problems. Are you ready? So let's start. First question. If a jar contains 5 red balls and 3 blue balls, how many possible ways are there to get 2 red balls and 1 blue balls? So in this problem, we're going to use the combination formula, which is n combination of r is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial times r factorial, since the order doesn't matter. In our first event, the value of our n is 5 and our r is 2. And in our second event, the value of our n is 3 and our r is 1. Substitute it to the formula. In our first event, 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial times to our second event, 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 1 factorial times 1 factorial. The next step is to copy the 5 factorial, then subtract the denominator, which is 5 minus 2, then copy the 2 factorial, and same process on our second event. Copy 3 factorial, then subtract 3 minus 1, then copy 1 factorial. Then it will become 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 2 factorial times 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 1 factorial. To get the value of the n and r factorial, just simply multiply the number given until 1. So it will become 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 3 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 1 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 1 times 1. Then to easy multiply or get the answer, cancel out the same value. So cancel 3 times 2 times 1 and 2 times 1. And now, we have the 5 times 4 divided by 2 times 1 times 3 divided by 1. 5 times 4 is equal to 20 and 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Then now we have 20 divided by 2 times 3 divided by 1. Then divide 20 to 2, then it is equal to 10 times 3 divided by 1. The final answer is 30 ways. Second question. In how many ways can 5-item true or false questions be answered? So in this problem, we have to use the counting principle. There are 5 questions and there are only 2 possible answers which are true or false. Basically, you multiply the events together to get the total number of outcomes. The formula is a raised to the power of b, where a is equals the number of options to choose from in each event and b is equals the number of events. And the A there is 2 and the B there is 5. So 2 raised to the power of 5 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is equals to 32 ways. Therefore, there are 32 ways that the 5-item true or false questions can be answered. Third question. What is the probability that a choose card from a standard deck is either a queen or ace? In this problem, since we're going to find the probability, of course, we have to use the formula for probability. We all know that there are only 4 queens and 4 aces, and the total numbers of cards are 52. All we need to do is substitute the given value using the formula. Probability is equal to the number outcomes divided by the number outcomes in sample space. 4 queens plus 4 aces divided by 52 cards. To get the number outcomes, add 4 plus 4 and we can get 8 over 52. Then we can divide it both sides by 4. Then the final answer is 2 over 13. Fourth question. In how many ways can the letters from the word CZG be arranged? In this given problem, we are going to use the permutation formula. And permutation of 4 is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So in this type of problem, we will going to find the most repeated letter. So we have letter Y since it occurs at 3 times. To find how many ways it can be arranged, we can say that 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial. Where did we get that numbers? The 6 factorial, it comes from the number of letters from the given word, and the 3 factorial, they are taken from the letter that appears the most, which is the letter Y. So 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial. 6 factorial, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 3 times 2 times 1. Then cancel out the same numbers. Then the numbers that is left out is 6 times 5 times 4, then multiply, then it is equals to 120. Therefore, there are 120 ways that the given word can be arranged. Fifth question or the last question is, Earl plans to go to Bicol to visit his parents. He can reach Bicol by sea, by air, or by land. Suppose that there are 3 ways by sea, 2 ways by air, and 5 by land. In how many ways can he go to Bicol? In this problem, there are ways given, 3 ways by sea, 2 ways by air, 5 ways by land. So we can see and simply analyze the problem, that in finding the possible ways to reach the destination of Earl, we just simply add the given ways. So 3 ways by sea plus 2 ways by air plus 5 ways by land equals to 10 ways. Therefore, we can see that there are 10 ways that Earl will be going to choose to go to Bicol.